are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Commanders. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Antonio Gibson, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 14, 1st down Commanders. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That play doomed from the start thanks to the defensive effort of Grady Jarrett.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 12-yard line. 1st down, and they'll start with Algier. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And this will be a Falcons 1st down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 1st down, going back to Patterson. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First and 10, it's Patterson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On second down, here's the option. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a return, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On third down, Mariota steps away to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down. And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. Koo knocks this one through the post, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Takes it at the 7. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you get this squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Samuel. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Touchdown! Antonio Gibson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Throwing, Mariota. And this throw will be intercepted. It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Russell Wilson. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. Past the 20. He will score. Touchdown, Falcons. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2? Win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson is going to float this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he finds McLaurin. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Gibson on the read option. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 and 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Gibson. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson completes it to Samuel. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run with Gibson. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the complete cornerbacks, able to tackle and run support, as we just saw there.
2nd down and goal. Wilson looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Sly able to put this one through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. On play action, Mariota. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That lowers things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Mariota. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Pitching it out to Gibson. They find some open field here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Throwing now, Wilson off 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson from 19 yards away. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mariota. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. Mariota now from the 50. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mariota now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 33. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted. Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
2nd down, here's an option right. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mariota. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pena now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And sometimes, I guess, maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back, and essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll try the left side with Gibson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done. Now, loose football. The ball comes out, and it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
These guys off the edge are already tough to contain when they're protecting a stationary target. Ask them to hold their blocks when a runner is struggling to find a lane, often an impossible task. Regardless of the outcome on the scoreboard, that will be one of this game's biggest stops.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 32 that time. Gibson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it with Gibson. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way.
And there he goes again. Touchdown, Falcons. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
Again, Elvin partner, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games at a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. They'll try and run it here. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. From the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A 2nd and 11 from the 19. Throwing is Wilson. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again.
They'll be looking for something here. Anything to seize that momentum back. From the gun, it's Wilson. Out left to Dotson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Final minute now of the third quarter. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop it. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive to either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wilson.
Target is to Dotson, and he's got him.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Room here to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
15 yards to pick up. 1st down, Washington. A give to Gibson running right.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And some room to maneuver. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 13.
122 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
Arnold Ebiketie able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Grady Jarrett, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And now right out of the 2-minute break, We'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Sly able to put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, and it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it ends up a 3rd down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. That's complete to John Ross.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Mariota. Able to find Patterson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. Mariota. And complete to Drake London. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Ooh, with a juke. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Here's Mariota. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's 2-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
It's intercepted at the goal line. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And this is going to be covered up by the Commanders, and they are going to win this football game. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for Washington, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, not much more to say. They dropped to 1-11, and they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You see, it's two type of people in life.